Ocarina of Time is one of the most underrated gems ever crafted, a game most people won't have heard of, created and once again hidden in the darkest of abysses. To find it, I had to rummage within landfills, raid ancient graves, and even scour the Wii U eShop. In this Nintendo 64 adventure game, you play as Link, the hero of time, long before he turned into a strange sad skeleton guy, whichever timeline that was, on his most polygonal adventure yet. The twink from the lost legal lowly woods awakens from his deep slumber. For a very nice, kind and helpful fairy was tasked to bring him to the talking tree. Damn, they've got a good strain growing here. The first obstacle of our quest is the Chad of the Woods. He blocks our path, belittling us, for we do not possess shield nor sword. It's true luck that same-day delivery exists even in these backwater woods. Too bad, Chad, this is real life. The epic gamer gets the girl. Link's attendance at the knife school is paying dividends already. At last we arrive at the Deku tree. I think the gist of his ramblings is that this fella wants Link inside him. Time to enter the tree. Let's learn how his body works. It does seem quite vast and complicated once inside. Didn't know trees had puzzles inside them. And who wrote this map? Link, equipped with some nuts, sticks and a piece of wood with a string, faces the arachnophobe sleep paralysis demon. What you need to know about Gohma is that it only poses a threat to children and drunks. I speak from twofold experience. Ah, Link, you saved me. Sadly, I am dying now. The hell? What was the point of that? Here, take this important stone, pass down through that. Is that an actual emerald and gold? This shit's gonna sell for a good buck on the market. The time has come to bid this dank forest farewell. Link parts ways with his only friend in the forest and receives a present from her. I'll be sure to always treasure it.
2 hours later.
Damn, they've got a blue one? We'll continue our quest, rolling across Hyrule Field like Sonic the Hedgehog from the hit game Sonic Lost Worlds. Our hero's journey makes our hero journey to Hyrule's castle town, where the marketplace awaits.
Hoot hoot, Link, look up here.
He checks out the castle to see if there's any more treasure here. After already having committed property damage in the thousands, he adds trespassing to his criminal record. At least he manages to coolly evade the very capable guards. Mario is also here, though he has seen better times for sure. We see Mario again while staring into the window of the castle's courtyard. Link isn't the only one suspiciously looking through windows into the castle. This is Princess the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64 system. While she could easily hand you over to the law enforcement apparatus, which is under her family's control, for the crime of trespassing on the royal grounds, she rather chooses to use that fact to coerce Link into helping her with the plot. Because she has found a man who has acted most suspiciously, so she claims, and anticipates that this man wants to overthrow the kingdom to claim power over the entire continent. This all sounds pretty crazy. What's your source? It was revealed to me in a dream. This also suspicious man happens to be the only dark-skinned man in all of Hyrule. God damn, who's the suspicious one here? Now, Link isn't one to be a great fan of royalty and rich people. He's after all from a socio-economically abandoned shithole part of the country that no one seems to care about. But neither is Link one to be a great fan of being in prison. So he pledges loyalty to Zelda and swears to defeat the evil man who once gave her a mildly unpleasant glare, or whatever his crime was. Zelda's babysitter teaches us a song that has been passed down the royal family for generations. And then we're off to find the other colorful gemstones to complete our collection. We journey for our first destination, Death Mountain. Ain't that a promising name? Death Mountain is still a little too hot for us, so we instead head for Goron City. Now Darunia, the Goron chief, is a little too cold for us. But don't worry, I've got my new mixtape with me. Hyped beyond belief, Darunia gives us a shitty bracelet. Having unlocked the ability to pick up explosive plants, new paths will unfold. Dodongo's Cavern is the consolation prize for not being able to visit Death Mountain. Apparently there's an evil lizardous fire creature hiding here, wanting to eat Gorons. The buff rock guy with a hammer and his army of plus-sized rock people apparently don't possess the might to get rid of this reptile infestation, instead begging a literal 10-year-old for help, which Link, of course, offers. The lives of the Gorons are secondary to the fact we can acquire the red gemstone from Darunia, so we will quickly fight our way through the members of the US government and dispose of Dodongeh. And just like that, we are done here. The second goal of ours is the domain of the fish people. The acquiring of bombs, which we have achieved in Dodongo's mansion, gives us the ability to destroy the boulders that conveniently blocked off the kingdom of the Zoras from us. What we find out here is that the princess of the domain is missing. Now that in itself isn't of much interest to Link. But you know, the third shiny gemstone? Luckily she managed to send a letter detailing her rather unfortunate situation of having been sucked into the belly of Lord Jabba the Hutt. I didn't even know they had a post office down there. From all the things we know Jabu likes to eat, we deduce that anything fishy shall suffice to forcibly open his gullet. So we bait him into inhaling us with a little trimethylaminish treat. We now traverse the insides of the body of the great Jeremiah, who is in great shape, his innards much resembling those of the average American. Indeed, his body enjoys impeccable health. Scratch that, I think he might have colon cancer and at least 4 types of diabetes. He probably won't be around for another 7 years. Luckily, it is not our job to remove any benign or less benign tumors from this chonker's entrails. We just need to find Ruto and get out of here. And there she is already. That was easy. You stupid bitch. The goal has been updated. We will save Lord Jabrowski from his past terrible dietary choices and play a game of operation on what indeed might be important organs. Now, Link doesn't have a medical degree. Far from it. I don't think there's a school in the woods. He'd be lucky to be literate. And even if he were a medical prodigy, I think even those don't tend to be experts on the physiology of big fish guys. But alright, a round of Russian roulette, but with fish organs it is. We face off against this tumorous growth. I believe it might be his appendix. Link has once again saved the day, saved the princess, and saved Jabba, though only he can set himself truly free from the consequences of his horrible lifestyle choices. We are awarded with the promised marriage with the fish lady, but more importantly, we get our third gemstone. Having collected the 3 magic gemstones of plot, it is time to head back to the time church and place them on the time altar to get through the time door to go into the time chamber. On our way there, something rather strange happens. It rains. And also Impa and Zelda ride through the storm, leaving Link only with the time ocarina. Ganondorf follows swiftly on their tails. To be quite fair, Zelda has been a proper dick to Ganon so far. I'm rooting for you, mate. Damn man, this guy is kind of a dick. The people from Hyrule Market seem pretty carefree, considering their princess was just followed by a weird creepily laughing ginger. In fact, the only person that seems to have been involved is a single guard, who is in a back alley somewhere. I really don't quite understand how this happened, seeing as this alleyway is quite off from the most logical route one would take from the castle to Hyrule Field. Still, we must finally get rid of these stones. Opening the great door, we find a great sword, which we must of course pull immediately. Sadly, Ganondorf has planted his most vile trap yet. He turned Link into an adult. The Holy Sage of Plot Exposition tells us that we need to collect 7 medallions or something. Great. At least he has one for us, as development time was too scarce to implement another temple. Damn these millennials and their participation trophies. We are left to our own devices, exploring this world 7 years in the future, much like the one from our childhood, just a little bit more horrifying. After meeting the ghost of the poor old gravedigger, whose hookshot is ours now, we shall retread ground and head back to the forest, where nobody recognizes Link, a stranger to this world, even back home. Within the sacred grove beyond the lost woods, a strange stranger waffles something about time. We've all got time.
You're that ninja.
We learn a new melody, and with the hookshot, the forest temple is now in reach. The forest temple is basically just a Luigi's Mansion prototype. Link's arsenal of weapons once again grows, ever so slightly. And once the ghosts of the house are dealt with, we finally face Ganondorf. Phantom Ghost version, who kinda sucks. And so Saria is freed, but she's only in this weird circular dimension in between. Is she enlivened? The next medal will be found on Death Mountain, or at least I hope that is what Navi's incessant babbling is all about. We are retreading all the ground we can now. Before we head to the Gorons, we once again enter Kakariko village. The populace of Hyrule Town has now moved here. Well, not quite all of them. Kakariko is a village of many interesting personalities. This girl lost her chickens, this guy lost his human body, this man lost his ass, and this dude lost his mind to the best song in the game, it seems. Once arrived at the Gorons, it turns out something is missing. That something being the Gorons. There's only one left, which makes genocide very easy. He lives, and gives us new drip. A drip of 1,000 new possibilities. Or 1. Now at long last we can enter Death Mountain. Apparently there is a lizardous fire creature here wanting to eat Gorons, and the Gorons have already been imprisoned. Of course we will save them, and only in part because that's how we get the next medallion. Time to save the Gordons and have them tell us absolutely useless, unskippable tips. Thank you, Gordon. Once that is done, Link faces the evil dragon. The best weapon against a nimble... I didn't know the Nintendo 64 runs on Windows. As I was saying, the best weapon against a nimble, airborne dragon is of course a fat hammer. Link visits Darunia in the Chamber of Nothing and gets medallion number 3. Let's break up the medallion chase for a bit. After saving the Gordons, it's time to acquire a horse. Things have really changed in the past 7 years. The very long ranch is now under a fascist dictatorship led by Luigi. Mario has become a complete bum. To resist Luigi's fascist movement, we steal his horse, which we had already indoctrinated 7 years earlier. Not because we need a horse, but because it's right. With this horse, we can reach the large fish pond even quicker. Princess Fish is gone once again, and the remainder of the fish people are frozen in ice. Maybe the reason for all this ice can be found here, in the ice cavern. Actually, it can't. But we do find some fire in the ice cavern, makes sense. And even more importantly, the iron boots. Using the fire we can melt the ice around the Zora Kingpin, who gives us new drip. With Link all dripped out, we will go to a place under the sea by the name of the Water Temple. The Water Temple is the most controversial thing that ever thinged. Even if your mind survives the tedium of repeatedly running around the entire building complex, lowering and highering the water level to get some stupid key you missed earlier, your fingers can't survive the trip to the pause menu to swap your boots forever. If you do not yield, they will. Next to the controls and an assortment of waterborne creatures I've yet to find in my biology book, Link faces his true self. Because he is your own self, but like evil dude, he knows everything you are going to throw at him. That's done with, we get the hookshot, but longer, and can finish the rest of this godforsaken place to face weird water snake thing. You know, Dark Link was a bit cooler. Fish waifu is saved. Water coin is acquired. Sheik also graces us with another short, confusing visit. He really is a mysterious guy. He seems so competent and cool. We saved all the elements now. Water, fire, light, green. But we are apparently still missing 2 medallions. Upon return to our favorite village in Hyrule, only possibly for lack of options, we find the most terrible sight. Everything is on fire. But Sheik has that under control. Mostly. Our mission now is to return to Link's childhood and explore the well of Kakariko, as the evil was sealed there. Not the brightest idea ever, was it? Down there we find the Eye of Truth, but we don't need the eye to see the truth that unfolds, the darkness that had been lying dormant, even as we were but children. This corruption now even reaching Link in the past. No matter what happens, the darkness will always be a part of him. Fittingly, it is time to visit the Temple of Darkness. Fittingly, yet again, it awaits above the graveyard. It has a lot of Eye of Truth puzzles, a lot of guillotines, a lot of this. It's a great place to be. Link's stay in the temple is crowned by his fight against Oingo Boingo, who brought his Donkey Konga to clap some cheeks. But the eye sees all, and the sword slices all, and we are almost done now. With our trusted steed, we jump towards the desert, where we shall find the last coin. We first need to free Bob the Builder and his friends from the Desert People's matriarchy, though the clap of Link's cheeks makes this a Herculean task indeed. Upon the completion of the stealth operation, the Vice Ninja in command is so impressed by Link's display that he is granted a woman license and the status of an honorary female human being. Or is he an elf? With that, he can make his way toward the Spirit Temple. Besting the challenges laid out before him, he arrives at and enters this old structure. Sadly, he can't do anything here, so he leaves.
You're that ninja.
We return as a child, meeting the main Gerudo lady, who wants Link in on her most moral plan to steal everything, including cool silver gloves. He agrees, of course, being no stranger to crime, and he acquires the gloves. But his thieving friend is thieved by Ganondorf's witch mothers. Now Link returns once again as an adult and finishes the other side of this dungeon. Link fights a big guy in armor, but it's actually the thief. Oh no, this injustice cannot stand, so it is time to end the lives of these witches. Luckily we've got the mirror shield. It's still not over though. The witches combine into a woman. Wait, no, this isn't what it looks like. Let's just get this over with. All the medallions are collected, the sages are saved. The squad is back together. Our journey nears its end. We will return to the Temple of Time and meet Sheik.
You're that ninja.
Once again, some exciting exposition. Turns out Link wields the Triforce. Wow, I didn't know that. And so does Sheik.
You're that Zelda.
Wow, what a plot twist. I definitely didn't know that from playing Super Smash Bros. Melee for the Nintendo GameCube system. Good thing she stayed in her disguise all this time, not to be found by Ganondorf. I'm sure it's alright that she revealed herself now. Oh no, Hyrule Castle is now Ganon's castle, and it seems so very out of reach. But the sages used their magical power to build a gay bridge, so we can get in there, do some more puzzle stuff, and go up many staircases. Man, this music is awesome. I think Ganondorf should be here. Oh damn, you played that yourself? Enjoyed my music? Yeah, that was pretty good. Then you will enjoy my murdering you. Link and Ganon put their lives on the line for the greatest Wimbledon match yet. And then Ganondorf is no more. And then the tower explodes, Ganon is again, and Link loses his sword. This would be pretty bad, but at least Link has his trusty hammer. He nails Ganon from behind. At an opportune opportunity, he regains his sword, and then Link seals the deal. Evil is no more, racism is defeated, the CEO of bad is behind interdimensional bars. Everyone parties. Pretty much literally everyone, just the new Deku Tree guy wasn't invited. The crazy chicken lady is chilling with the big ass Goron. These two are crying together, Windows XP is in here, and these weirdos are all hanging out together. If you go to a party and find yourself ending up at a table with these fellas, you know you've made some bad choices that night. Maybe all of your life. At least you won't have to suffer each other's company sober. Link puts the sword to rest at last and fulfills his final mission. To warn Zelda, and so the end at last, with only Zelda and Link and Luigi.